Ready?
You're live.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Shane here with ROA Off-Road. Today is a live Campfire Rant. This is Thursday, and we've been pretty consistent with this, doing these every Thursday of the month. And essentially today, this is the day that you can just tune in and make comments, questions. I'm looking down at my phone because I'm trying to pull up the YouTube and make sure I get on here and answer all the questions. So we did have a topic that we were talking about, and it's a pretty heavy topic, I would say. And it's about manufacturers going out of business and what that means for you. It's funny. A few years back, I went to a local dealership down the road, and I was talking with one of the owners and the GMs. And as a matter of fact, it was actually during our time with when we were selling Black Series a while ago. And, we were just having a lot of struggles and frustrations, and it's really hard to work with. And I went over there and I just talked to him, and he said, "I'll never work with a small company ever again." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Relatively, I mean, like, small is like a interesting word. I don't know what small means. 20 to 100 employees or team members, we're talking not $100 million billion company, right? I guess that could be a small company. I don't know exactly what he meant by that, but he was like, "I'm never going to work with a small RV manufacturer ever again." And I was like, well, that's intriguing, because at that time, I think we were working with 2 or 3 smaller, just mostly Black Series, but we were like looking into some more small ones potentially in the future. And sometimes you think, oh, small business is a good thing to work with because it's more intimate, you get more one-on-one. And so I don't know if I agreed with him, but the biggest thing that he was getting at when I was talking with him was that, like, listen, and he told me, he's like, "Shane, I once worked with a smaller RV manufacturer out of California. Great trailer. They built a great trailer." And he says, but financially, they weren't very stable. And he said when the recession hit, this was, I think, 2008, he was referring to, and he said they went out of business. And he says, and then all of a sudden I was sitting here where I had sold like 100 of these trailers, and there's no warranty for them anymore, because when they go out of business, they no longer support the product, right? And I'm like, that seems pretty obvious, right? And so he was just like, it's just like, what do you do? Like, is it my responsibility to warranty the trailers? I mean, like, I didn't make the trailer, right? I sold the trailer. Like, legally, the manufacturer's responsible. None of that falls onto the RV dealership. But he's like, but I also wanted to take care of the people that worked with us. And this dealership that I'm talking about, they're not a massive operation, a single location. They're a family-owned business, and so they weren't super big. And he wanted to keep his reputation clean, right? And so he just was like, never again. I'll never do that, because, like, I felt horrible when people called up and said, "Hey, I have an issue." And it's like, well, they're out of business. What do you want me to do? And he said sometimes it was a case by case. He's like, some people were like totally understandable, and they're like, "No, that's fine. I'll bring it in and I'll pay for you guys to service it and fix it." But he said sometimes people would get really irate and they'd be like, "It's your responsibility," which it really, legally, it's not. But he said he would end up taking the blow of a lot of the service because the manufacturer didn't exist anymore. So why am I talking about this? Because there are some RV manufacturers that are going out of business. Unfortunately, some have been around a long, long time. Some of them are newer manufacturers. Most of the manufacturers that we're working with are very, 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 very fiscally smart and responsible, and there's nothing to worry about. But there are some little manufacturers out there that are struggling, and that can be a scary thing for an owner or a potential owner. And I don't want to necessarily talk too much about some of the manufacturers in detail, One of them is officially gone out of business, and is a brand that we were carrying, and they, are gone, and we sold some of their trailers, and not only do they not provide warranty, you can't even call them. They're like, they don't even pick up their phones anymore. There's like, I guess that's called ghosting you or whatever. They're ghosting us, they're ghosting the owners, and there's just no way to even get a hold of these people. And it's really sad, it's really unfortunate, because the people that bought the trailer, it's kind of like, what do we do? And so we're trying to help them and support them, but also it's like it depends on what the issue is. It's like, people just need to be understanding, right? We want to help you, but also you got to understand that typically the manufacturer is supposed to pay for the warranty, So it's a really, really unfortunate thing, and it's happening. We are kind of in a down market for the RV industry in general. The overlanding industry, which is kind of what we're in, is not that. It's not really down too much. We're doing good, but I'm talking to lots of people all over the country. I was just texting a guy today, and he's back from in Georgia, and he's like down 50% from last year to this year, right? It's really bad. And he's like, man, I don't even know if we're gonna make it. He's a dealer, right? He's a dealer, not a manufacturer. We're up from last year to this year. We're doing pretty good. But I think that is more because what we sell and how we sell it, and our marketing is different. We're not very 86% of everything we sell is not even in Utah. We sell to the whole country, so we're doing great. It's sad to hear other people not doing good, and manufacturers, it's very frustrating when they are not doing good. All of our big brands are fabulous. Like Pause is owned by Palomino. They're debt free. They're a $5 billion company. No issues there. They're still building new stuff, R&Ding it. Imperial Outdoors, I know he's very, very, very financially smart with everything. Our new Roamer high altitude guys, they're awesome too. They're scrappy and they're doing really good. Like I said, I don't want to necessarily name all the brands, but there's other ones that I'm kind of like, question mark, Now, there's a good thing about this when this happens. This is a live rant, by the way, so feel free to ask questions and jump in and do the make comments, and I'll try to reply to them. I'm reading some of the comments. That's what's throwing me off here. Anyway, so let me read some, and I can keep on talking about what's going on. So, would you buy a trailer from a place going out of business? I'm assuming you would get a good deal. That's true. Yeah, it's true. I mean, recently we did I did a Black Series rant, right, and how I talked about how we dropped them due to quality issues. And a lot of people got a little upset about that and saying, why would you say that? And it's like, because it's true. And that was the reason. Now, are they going out of business? I'm not going to make a comment on that, but would I, if I was a consumer and I knew what I know, or if you're really handy and you know how to fix the trailer, then yes, go ahead. Go buy a trailer. You're going to get a good deal. Yeah, you will get a good deal. And in general right now, it's a great time to buy RVs. Right now is the best time to buy RVs. A year or two ago was a terrible time to buy RVs. Right now is a great time to buy. Any smaller, exclusive, some of the stuff I feel like if they go out of business, they actually might become more valuable, almost because there's only a certain amount of them. And if they're built really well, I don't know. Like for example, Kimberly Campers, right? It's a great manufacturer. I'm not saying they're going out of business. No, don't take that and run with it. They're doing just fine. But if they did, hypothetically speaking, I'm not sure the value of the camper would go down, and I'm not sure you'd get a better deal because they're just such well-built trailers that you're gonna get what you get, whether they're in business or not. And the other thing is warranty is semi-overrated sometimes. It's only a year, and a lot of the appliances are only a year. And a lot of the appliances, like, so you'll still have like a Dometic warranty, right? If you have a Dometic component inside the thing, and say, the manufacturer goes out of business that built the trailer, so it's all the craftsmanship pieces of the trailer that are not going to be under warranty, but you'll still have a refrigerator warranty, right? Or a furnace warranty. So it really depends on the manufacturer. If a big manufacturer like a line of, like, maybe not, like Forest River's not going to go out of business, but they might have a division, right, that goes out of business, that they just decide, oh, we're not selling a lot of those, let's just close it. Those might go for, like, if Ember was struggling, right? Like I said, I don't think most of the overland market stuff is struggling, or the off-road market is doing pretty well. But if they were, I would suspect you'd get a better deal on those, just because they're a little bit bigger of a company. But I don't know. All this is speculation. I can tell you, Seymour Butts, yes, like, unfortunately, that is a company that is no longer around, and it's very frustrating. They're the ones that we're trying to get hold of, and we're getting ghosted. But it is what it is, It's sad. It's unfortunate. I feel bad for them. I think they're great people, but just bad timing. 2 years prior, maybe it would have been amazing, but it was like trying to start something while it was like coming at the tail end of the heat of COVID, and now it's slowing down, right? So it's just bad timing. Honestly, like, we've been around for 15 years in January, so any company that's been around, a 10-year-old company is still a brand new company in some ways, right? But starting a business and running a business and staying alive, if you can stay alive after 5 years, that's pretty miraculous. I'm pretty sure, like, the statistics say like 90% of businesses are over by 5 years, and then the ones that make it from 5 years, 90% of those are out of business after 10 years. So that's 90% of the 10% that make it past 5 years. Maybe my numbers are not totally accurate, but I've heard this from, I listen to a lot of financial and business stuff, podcasts, something along those lines. The point is, it's extremely hard to make it to 5 years. It's way harder to make it to even 10 years. If you make it to 10 years, you're not 10%, you're 10% of the 10%. So it starts getting smaller and harder. You make it to 15 years, I'll tell you how that is. By January, we're going to make it to 15 years. We're going to make it to 100 years. That's always our goal, and our vision has always been long term, and so that's what it's going to be, no matter what. So, love you all, guys. Love y'all, guys. Always have great info. Thank you, Taylor. I really appreciate that. Hey Shane, what's up, Night Tools? Welcome to the rant. The Thursday live rant. Make questions. That's Spanish. If you have any questions, let me know. Evening, Shane. This is very helpful. Thank you. Any ideas on when the Roamer X, the production model, is coming out? Well, I've been sitting in the Roamer X for 6 or 7 hours today, just so you know. Ask any questions you want to know. We already have a unit here right now. There's still a little few more things that we need to dial in, but it's pretty much complete. Like, we're taking orders. Like, people have put in orders, so and we're making a very limited amount this year and next year. And there's I want to say it's pretty much all the way done. There's like a few things we want to change, and it's really, really cool. It's beautiful, actually. I like it a lot. I'm taking it out this weekend, doing a bunch of stress tests on the power system, on the air conditioners, and then I'm going to be taking it out not this week, but the following week, and I'll probably put maybe 1,000 miles on it. The Proto that we did a video of a year ago, that thing had thousands of miles on it, on and off-road. That thing we really put through a bunch of stuff. So this one is going to be I'm pretty excited about it. So anyways, let me know if you have any questions. Okay, Duramax, finally, fixed my dweller fridge. Yes! The switches and the breakers are bad. Likely hurt my Snowmaster fridge. rated at 7.5 amps and draws 11 to 14. Now that sounds sick. Anyways, hardwired it to the main shut off. Yep. Anyway, that's one of those other businesses that might be struggling, sending a lot of inventory to it's not just the manufacturers. Some of the dealers are struggling in the market in general, and from what I'm seeing is the people that are carrying the standard Indiana stuff, or a combination of standard Indiana and some off-road stuff, that they're selling their off-road stuff. The standard stuff is just dead, and the ones that are like all standard, well, people are closing their doors. Anyway, okay, will we be getting a Romer X full walkthrough anytime soon? William said that, and then Thomas says, "Hey Shane, hope all is well." Romer X status? What? Sorry. So when will we be getting a tour of the Romer X? We went and filmed a bunch of stuff. So not this week, but the last week, me and the camera crew, which 3 guys, we were out for how many hours? 84 hours. Yeah. we were out for 8. Everybody's like, "Oh, you must just be always out having fun and playing." We were out for 84 hours filming tours on everything. So I can tell you the schedule. This coming week we have the BRSs are going to be coming out, walk-arounds on the Sherpa, the Pursuit. Is that correct? The following week I think we have some new edition taxes that are pretty cool that are coming out. And then hopefully the following week will be the X, but not sure about that, and don't hold me to it. They have 30 projects. These guys, our video guys, are amazing. Like, our videos are only cool because of them. It has nothing to do with me. They like are the ones that put it all together, make it awesome, make it enjoyable to watch, and it takes a crazy amount of hours. I don't even know because I don't know how to do it, but I watch them working all hours of the day and in the night. So that's why we're trying to add more and more people to do it. We now have another video guy, pretty cool, Randy. He's one of our newest coaches, sales coaches / assisting the South Carolina store with Nate, and he's pretty awesome. He's done some videos too. So Thomas Hastings, I shout out to you as well. I think you're I don't know exactly what you're doing over in South Carolina, but Nate only says good things about you. He's a roamer, so so I don't know on the X. Hopefully 3 weeks. It might be 4 weeks. Heard it with the low voltage. OBI dealer is unresponsive. Dealer more so. They don't care. Now I get to rewire my $50,000 trade completely out of pocket. Yeah, Duramax. It's really frustrating. I'll tell you one of the reasons why they're not very responsive, because I know, because we also sell these same trailers, and it's not just the dealer, it's also the dealer is not getting a lot of response from the person who should be warranting your trailer. So it's kind of what do they say to you, right? When they're not getting warranty supplied to them. Super frustrating. No matter what, it's frustrating all the way around. Everything, LOL. Okay, so you said status. Okay, I'll give some more details on this X stuff, and I'm getting more questions. Okay, not impressed. We will see how OBI handles the countertop that cracked. I believe in OBI's potential, but they need to get their customer support together and put better brakes. Yes, I agree. Been very, very frustrating all the way around. The cool thing is the OBI trailers are phenomenal trailers. Like, overall, like, it's a great platform to build off. It's similar to the Black Series, right? In the sense that they're all made in China, they get shipped over here, and it matters. It's all about, like, the end support, right? You want good support. You want a good dealer. You want the distributor that's bringing it in, which is OBI. You know, in Arizona, you want them to be supporting it, because honestly, like, working with China is quite frankly, it's getting old for me. I'm like, kind of like, we got so many cool things in the U.S. that are coming in the horizon. We just need to get cheaper things, you know, that are more affordable, I should say. I don't want them to be poor quality. I want them to be good quality but more affordable, similar to OBIs. But like logistically getting stuff from China is a nightmare. It's a mess. And I've almost thought like maybe we should go out and start trying to import, because Black Series, OBI, Opus, MDC, they're all made in the exact same plant, and it's a company called Compax. I think China actually, or Black Series ended up building their own plant, and MDC. But anyways, they're all in the same city, in the same vicinity. They all use similar stuff. They're all built to similar. The difference is like who's importing it and how they're supporting it. And then also you can choose components, right? You can choose an off no-name brand Chinese refrigerator, or you can use an Iceco, or you can use a Snowmaster. The fact that you have Snowmaster is actually shocking, because we've never gotten Snowmasters in our OBIs. They're all usually Icecos, so like it really depends on the end distributor, what they're, because they get to choose. I've talked with the plant in China. I like the Chinese plant in China recently reached out to me about buying Black Series, and I was like, what are you guys talking about? Anyway, long story short, but I'm not going to talk about that. But they, like the plant reaches out and says, yeah, we'll send you whatever you want, a la carte, essentially, to just check the list and stuff. But it's like the quality sometimes is really, really bad. And OBI is definitely the best. Honestly, Opus is probably the best, but good luck getting one. Opus, and the reason why is the guys in San Francisco, the Bay Area, where the Opus comes in, they just spend so much time going through it, QCing it, right? They fix a bunch of little things before they send it out to their dealers, and they're really, really good trailers overall. We really wanted to carry them at one point, but it just didn't work out regionally. There was another dealer that was too close to us. And then, outside of Opus, I would say OBI is the next best one, and as long as you can dial in some of the little things here and there, like fusing. That's a big issue. And we had the same issues with Black Series that we do with, OBIs, and I'm sure they have the same issues on MDCs and Opuses, where they're just not fused properly sometimes. They're not using the right wiring sometimes, and that stuff is just really frustrating if your fridge constantly blows, right? And the brakes, the brakes are terrible. You just got to replace them. This is a thing, and this is kind of I know this is not the best way to go about it, but look, it's a $50,000 off-road trailer. There's not any other options out in the market in that price range, right? Anything in America is gonna jump up to that 70, 80, and 100 and above, right? So look at it from a glass half full type of way and say, you know what, if I'm $1,000 or so in replacing the brakes with some good drums and some good shoes, then you got a good trailer, and you just dial in some of those little things. So what do we have? What's the average cost for the Roamer X? I'm definitely going to want one for absolutely certain. That's one of the things we still need to dial in, honestly. If you want to hear some of the specs, I can tell you some of the specs. Right now we have a 1,160 amp hours of lithium, which is crazy. It's almost it's a 13.9 kilowatt system. You have not one, but two 12-volt air conditioners. The seamless design is amazing because it doesn't leak ever, will ever, never. The solar is limited because of the AC units up there, but you're gonna have stock around 800 on the roof, and then portable up to 1,400. So there's a lot of, and if you've seen the original Proto, you saw two tires. Two tires is not a thing anymore, so stay tuned for that. You can keep on asking details. Actually, I'll give you more details. What's so the cost detail? It's really up in the air, honestly. It's definitely not going to be south of 100. It's going to be north. We're really trying to dial that in, and there's always these issues where you kind of go back and forth between what type of materials you use, right? You want to use the best, and when you start, it gets really expensive really fast, right? Like our upholstery in the Romer one is over $3,000 in upholstery. We could go. Lippert has a catalog, and we could go and buy upholstery for like $500 to $900 that would fit in the space. We could even have it embroidered that said Romer 1 on it. But it's cheap, right? And it's not thick, and like we're using the most plush, thickest like memory foam, very dense, so it's comfortable. I slept on the Romer 1. We were on a Romer adventure, and I slept in the Romer 1, and the bed is comfortable. It's like, and I'm a bed snob. Like I like a comfy bed, and it was comfortable. Like, I mean, not as comfortable as my bed, but it was comfortable. But that's because we're using really premium thick foam. The leather is expensive. It's a lot of money. So like that's kind of like, but it's like $3,000 for just a booth, just the material on the booth, right? So you just like you start getting nickeled and dime. The water tanks on it are 60 with a potential option to go to 80 gallons of water on the X. Speaking about the X, so that's pretty cool. William says, shout out to Fabio, went above and beyond expectations. Yes, thank you so much. I'm going to let him know that. Fabio's our newest, well, I don't know if Randy might be newer. Randy's out in South Carolina. Fabio's in Utah. They're both new. They're our newest coaches, sales coaches, so they're helping people. And be patient, please. They're still like learning. There's so much to learn. And Josh, though, he's one of our sales coaches here in Utah, and he's like unbelievably knowledgeable. But he started 3 years ago and had never camped in a trailer in his entire life. And now he's probably camped over a month in trailers, or maybe a month or two in trailers, total time in the last couple of years. And he's traveled all over, towed a lot, and very, very knowledgeable and knows everything about him now. Fabio will be there very, very soon. But Fabio is just a good, honest. We always talk about, you hire for attributes, not for skills. You can always learn skills. You hire humble, hungry, and honest. That's what we always say: hungry, humble, and honest. Because if you're hungry, that means you're going to work hard. If you're humble, that means you're willing to learn, right? And you're not a know-it-all. You're willing to admit when you do things wrong, right? And if you're honest, well, there you go. What else do you want in a person if they're an honest, hardworking, humble person? It's a good recipe for working, for success in life. So, just don't know when I'd be able to night tools. Oh yeah. Well, good thing, because you'll know soon. Hopefully you're not in a rush, because it's going to take a while. Truth, the editors make you look good. It's true. They do. I always like to say the camera adds like 10 pounds though, and they usually have like 2 cameras on me, so I'm like, that's why I look 20 pounds heavier, right? Not really. Anyway, hopefully they use Sony cams.
Panasonic.
Oh, Panasonics. Sorry, you don't have any Sonys? What do you use?
Panasonic.
This is a Blackmagic.
So they have a Blackmagic. That's what I'm looking at right now, is a Blackmagic.
We have 3 Panasonics.
And they have 3 Panasonics. What are they? What are those?
S5.
An S5.
GH5.
A GH5.
G85.
And a G85. And lots of GoPros. And GoPros for undermounted suspension shots and stuff. Yes, there you go. Now you have the list of their camera stuff, if you're wondering. 42 Pros. I wonder if you're an editor and a camera person. So, are you willing to provide help, add modifications to owners who didn't buy from you? Dweller owner, hey Rick. It's really hard. It's because honestly, we're so swamped with what we have, and like in the future, we have an idea of like we would like to do stuff like that. One of the biggest frustrations that we're having, especially with dwellers, is that there's a dealer or 2 that have gone out of business, and so their product has been literally just confiscated off the lot and sent to auctions, and they're getting sold for less than what we purchased them for. So people are calling us and saying, hey, I want to buy a dweller from you, and I want you to do mods. And we're like, okay, sounds good. And they're like, but can you sell it to me for X amount of dollars? And we're like, no, like that's 10 grand or 15 grand less than what we bought it for, right? And it's like, well, but I found it over here for this much cheaper. And it's like, I know, but you got to understand that like that guy is bankrupt. He's out of business. It's getting sold to an auction, so it's going through a third party. So you're not going to get a warranty. You're not going to get any support. Like, you're not buying it from a dealer. That's who is. We're a franchise. We're a franchise dealer for this product, right? So we want to and believe it or not, we're losing money. We're selling a bunch and we're losing money on them, but like some of it's just like way crazy. And so like one guy's like just recently like came in, spent 2 days with us, like on 2 different occasions, spent hours with us, getting all his information he wanted, and then he went and bought it from somebody else down, found it for cheaper, but from an independent person, so he's not getting warranty, he's not getting service, and then he like says, hey, I went down and bought it, and we're like, why? And he saved a few $1,000s. Maybe, I mean, he maybe saved $5,000, but we're like, oh man, you know, like, well, but we showed you like we were losing money. We couldn't lose any more money. Like, we are not going out of business like them, but if we lose money on knowledge trailers, we will. And so, but then he's like mad at us because we're like, well, we can't service you. We can't do warranty. We can't support you. And it's just like it's very, very frustrating when you spend so much time trying to help somebody and then they, anyways, whatever. I could rant about this for a long, long time and I'm not going to. It's very frustrating. There's a lot of people that are picking up some of these used units and then they're finding out that they have no support. And no, the answer is no. We can't support everybody in America, right? We are growing and we have lots of demand for the trailers that we sell, and then we have people like waiting. Like, we have people that have like bought a Roamer 1 or bought a Pause or bought a Dweller, and they're waiting months sometimes to get their unit. And then the second we get it, we have to bring it in the shop. We have to do upgrades and modifications for them. And the only way we can fit somebody that didn't buy from us is like by pushing them off, right? And so I wish we had the capacity to do that. Right now it's really, really hard. When we're hiring any techs, really good techs out there, please give us a call. And then also there's like this support and this follow-up, because everybody has issues with their trailers, no matter the trailer they buy. I don't care if it's a Pause, a Roamer 1, a Roamer X, a Dweller. Everybody is going to have issues with their trailers. And we have a tech guy that literally we are now looking at hiring an additional person, maybe 2 people, just to try to support people after the sale. And it's really like we're very tapped out. So I wish I could. Like, people have offered to like do a buy-in for us, and we were doing that, and then we've stopped doing it because we don't want. It's been jump on the Facebook group and ask for owners support. You know, like, there's owners, there's people that are doing things. I mean, we do videos and we show you the mods. So if like there's a mod that you need to do, like, just go watch the video and go find a good fabricator local to you and get them to do it. A lot of it's like not impossible to do, and we're pretty clear about how to do a lot of this stuff. We just showed in the videos. So anyway, do you have any negatives on Opus 15? I mean, I don't like those questions. I don't like being. I try not to be too negative about those people. The negative thing is that they didn't actually sign us up as a dealer. That's my negative thing, but that's not on the 15. That's more of Opus in general. Because I went out and I visited them in their factory before they had anybody in the region, and I was like signing docs to be their dealer, and then a day later called and said, sorry, we signed somebody else before you. It's like, what are you talking about? I met you. You're the owner. Sorry, it's my sales guy, and he did it already, and he committed it anyway. Blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of drama. Anyway, super frustrated about that, because I did like Opus, and I think Opus is a good company. I don't really have anything terrible to say about them. Anything different than every trailer on the market. That there's always going to be issues, and people need to have different expectations. We're running into it's spring and it's summer and everybody's out camping and things are not going always perfectly according to plan. So everybody's mad, right? And I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, people, like like nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. It's never going to be perfect. And I don't feel like I've ever tried to tell people everything is perfect. I feel like I overly tried to tell people, no, like, don't have the it's the house on wheels. It's going through an earthquake every time you tow it down the road, right? Things are going to rattle. But it's like one of the cool, I love RVing. I love going camping. We're going to Rushmore with the family, and I'm so excited about it, and it's you get your own bed, you get your own food, you got your clothing packed, and it's easy, it's convenient, but it also is work, right? It's not all just glorious. And some people go get an RV and they're like, wait, I have to empty the tank and clean it, this seems like a lot of work. And it's like, it's not a lot of work, but it is work. There's like stuff involved in making it and doing it. Anyways, I mean, here's the negative of Opus. Let me tell you something negative about Opus is they're expensive, but they're not that expensive. I think they're a fair market value. But if you want to buy a trailer like an Opus 15, come to us and buy a Dweller 15, because they're pretty much like the same trailer. They're built in the exact same plant with the exact same parts. The floor plans are a little bit different. But if you're going to buy one, come and buy a Dweller, because you can get a better deal on it, because Dweller built way too many trailers. OBI built way too many trailers last year, and so the market got saturated, and some dealers have gone out of business. Don't go buy one from an independent dealer and not get any support. Buy it from us. We'll give you a good deal. We'll try to match, but like within reason. Like, we also service the trailers for you. Like, you're not going to get any service if you buy it from an independent person. So buy a Dweller, not an Opus, because they're cheaper. That's the main reason. But outside of that reason, I can't really say anything bad about Opuses. I think they're great trailers. But you're not gonna be able to touch an Opus for under 50 grand. Like, they're usually 55 to 60 from what I've seen, and you can get a Dweller for well under 50 grand. Probably closer to 40, depending on where you're getting, and if you want service. So there you have it. So, any potential for Pause to offer disc brakes? Also, your thoughts on their windows. I think they're okay, but I feel the ones on the Explorer are superior. It's a good question, Tom. So in what way are they superior? I have camped in both of them in around 0 to 10 degrees, and the thermal barrier, or the thermal conducting the heat or the cold. Obviously, it was 10 degrees outside when I slept in the Pause. I think the windows are like twice as thick on the Pause, and so there's probably more gas in the center of there, and so there was no I didn't experience a lot of heat or cold transfer. The frames are also not aluminum; they're all polymer, so it's plastic. So you have zero condensation or heat and cold. I mean, I was in 100-degree weather recently, and I could feel heat coming through the plastic, right? But not like metal. Aluminum is very hot. So in those things, the Pause is superior. Now, if you're talking about the latching mechanisms, yes, the Explorer and the Roamer one is superior. The latching systems on them are way better. I don't it's funny. So the supplier of those windows, if you go and buy those windows, the very premium, most expensive window they sell are the Pause windows. The next most expensive, most premium window they sell are the Explorer and Pause, the Explorer and Roamer 1 windows, which is funny. So they're technically, supposedly, they're both premium windows, but one is supposed to be a little bit better. But definitely the latching mechanisms shut much better, and they just feel stronger and more sturdy. We've never really had any of them break. We have had some of the Pause latches break, so it's and when we do the walkthrough with people, we're just be careful, use 2 hands and shut it, and as long as you're doing that, there's no issues. I like how they open up straight. That's actually pretty cool. And like I said, really, to me, heat and cold, the Pause win. But the Explorer, the walls are so thick, so it's kind of give or take. Anyway, I know we usually go to 6, but I have to cut this short because my wife is doing a party today, and if I don't get home, I'm gonna be in trouble. Not really, but she wants me to come and help her set up some stuff. But let's get through some of these things. Okay, Roamer X specs. Oh, and then there was also a disc brake question. I'm going to pass by that one because I'm not 100% sure and I don't want to say anything that I'm not sure on. There's a possibility. Romer X specs, please. I already said their specs. This video is going to go off live. I gave you a few of the specs, around 5,000 pounds dry weight, but I gave you some of the batteries and other things, 60 gallons of water. So there were some stuff that I did mention, so go back and check that out. Pause is killing it, by the way. Love that they moved to all Trumer products for what they apply to. Yeah, Thomas, and they're going to continue killing it. I'm like a little worried. I'm like, you're going to build too many amazing trailers. Slow down. So tour of the Topo too soon, maybe. Randy did a great job. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Clint. We'd love to hear this. I can attest. When I picked up my X195, I was his first walkthrough. Great guy. He's amazing. And like Nate just says, he's out camping in the trailers every weekend. He's passionate. He loves the outdoors. He loves camping. That's what we want. I'm a very patient gentleman that follows God's will. Good. We all should be. Gonna beat the dead horse again. Will the Romer X fit Cinderella travel? X. No. Sorry. I'm going to go through these rapid fire. We tried very hard, but it won't fit. It will fit maybe in a future rendition. Just ran into a fan of your channel. He asked about my dweller, told him to only buy from you and not have the headaches. I will rewind later and look at your answer on the comments. Thank you so much, Dermax. We really appreciate that. But I never dragged the trailer. All right, still good cameras, but okay, sorry, cameras. You guys need to get upgraded cameras. Get the sunny. Just kidding. Shane, how is your cost of living versus wage? I'm thinking about leaving Arizona very soon. Might come up there. I have the skill set of my own experience with my dweller. Ooh, there you go. We might need another technician. It's probably getting similar to Arizona. California, everybody's moving in from California, and Utah's gotten pretty expensive recently. I mean, like, our houses have doubled and tripled in probably 10 years, which is crazy. Like, the house that I am in right now costs 3 times more than what it did when it was brand new. I'm not the first owner. The first owner bought it for a third of what I paid for it, which is like super frustrating. I'm like, and it's not even that nice of it. I mean, it's to 2018. It's like 3,200 square feet. It's not a big house. It's like whatever. Nice neighborhood though. But good answer. Thank you. Do you think you'll sell outside kitchens add-ons standard for the 195? So that's not up to us. That's actually Imperial Outdoors. We're not allowed to put certain features that are on the Romer one on the 195 to differentiate the models. If you're thinking about importing from ODM, actual builder of dwellers, check the Viper 13 Annex. Yeah, we really have thought about. We've thought long and hard about just cutting out middlemen, right? Because it's like us, OBI, and then China, and then us, Black Series China, and it's like, well, why don't we just go straight? There are some legalities, and we have to set up different things, but it's a thought. Opus isn't that dollars versus dwellers, 15 or MDC. Anyways, Romerize next 145, please. Yeah, maybe in the future. I'm sitting in my truck with my dweller 13 on the hitch, and it's in at the parking lot. There you go. That's awesome. Thank you for tuning in. The pause from 1 to 10. I don't know if you're trying to rate. You're like doing a rating scale. I'm not 100% sure I understand that. We're coming close to an end. I feel the latches are flimsy and the shade and the screen feels sort of cheap. Agreed. The window is stout. Yes, you're right. It's mostly the latches, but you might be right about the screen as well. Is it like an accordion stuff? No, it's not. Anyways, I don't know. If the latches were different, I would 100% choose the pause windows over the Explorer windows. But because of the latches, I feel like it's 6s. So thanks for the info. Have a good evening. Thank you, Tom. Looking forward to your next live chat. Have a great weekend. Sorry we're cutting this one short. Fun just found out OBI is now selling direct out of their Arizona. In my opinion, go bug them tomorrow. Literally gonna pound on their door. Watch them want to hire a 15-year customer service. Please go pound on the door, and if you can be part of their customer service team and help us with warranty, that would be fantastic. We would love it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it, and I love the engagement. It's been good. Stay tuned. As always, the first Thursday of every month, we have some actually pretty crazy Campfire Rants coming soon, so you're going to want to check out the ones that are not live. We're trying to get some more edgy topics, kind of like the Why We Draw Black series and like other stuff. I actually am going to be talking about lemon laws, stuff that you really, really need to know about when you're buying an RV, and just expectations to have, because the lemon laws don't really apply to RVs or camper trailers, so you got to be careful about that. Anyway, so stay tuned. We will talk to you later, and have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.